PHP form handling. Here's an example of HTML form using HTTP post method. So as you can see, my form have two attributes within the opening form tag. The action attributes references a PHP file name welcome.php that receives the data entered into the form when the user submits it by pressing the submit button. So when we submit the button, the data will go into welcome.php. So the method attribute tells that the browser to send the form data through the post method. So when we submit the button, the data will transfer through using HTTP post method. So when the user fills out the form above and clicks the submit button, the form data is sent for processing to a PHP file named welcome.php. The form data is sent with the HTTP post method. So to display the submitted data, you could simply echo all the variables inside the PHP file. So the name is welcome.php. So ang sulod sa imong welcome.php is parehas ni kining welcome less than sign and question mark PHP and echo dollar sign underscore post closing brackets, square brackets and quotation mark, then name, okay, which is the name of your input, and then quotation mark name, quotation mark, then brackets, and then and semicolon, and then the closing of the PHP is question mark and then greater than sign, and then your email, so which is the inside your post dollar sign underscore post, which is same sa name. So ang output ani is mo ni siya, welcome John. So atong ginput is John, and then ang email is john.dewey@example.com. So mo ni siya example, mo ni siya ang output. So here's also the example using the get method. So parehara sila sa post, but the difference is the method we use get, and then change tag name sa file, which we use the welcome underscore get .php. So if we submit it, so if mag-submit ang button, the form is sent through the welcome underscore get.php, the form data sent within the HTTP get method. So masend sa using the HTTP get method, which is kani, and then ang sulod sa atong welcome underscore get.php is kaning welcome, and nakalahi lang sa post katong ganiya is dollar sign underscore get na itong gigamit, which is pagkatong get imong butang sa get sa imong method, and then same sa email sa imong input. So nag-input ang John, then john.dewey@example.com, then mo na siyang output. Next, so get versus post. So both get and post create an array. So sa array natay key 1, which is na siya value nga 1, so and so on. This array holds key value pairs where keys are the names of the forms, controls the value are the name, the input data from the user. So both get and post are treated as $sign underscore get, so, and $_ katong ganiya. So there are super globals, which means they are always accessible regardless of scope, and you can access them from any function, class, or file without having to do anything special. So $_get is an array of variables passed to the current script via the URL parameters. So makita nimo kung get mo gamiton, makita nimo ang mga ilang value, ilang parameters sa URL. So the $_post is an array variables, same sila, passed to the current script via HTTP post method. Kani siya, dili nimo siya makita sa URL. So when to use get? You use get when the information sent from a form with the get method is visible to everyone. All variable names and values are displayed in the URL. So kung dili ka siya importante nga variables and values, pwede rin naman siya i-display sa URL. You use get also have limits. So na-put limits ang get. The limitation is about 2,000 characters. However, because the variables are displayed in the URL, it is possible to bookmark the page. This can be useful in some cases. So, use gyapon ang get kaya sa Facebook nag-use sila siguro sa get sa username kaya makita man sa URL. So, get may be used for some sending non-sensitive data. So, gina-use gyapon ang get for sa mga dili kayo important nga data para makita siya sa URL. So get should never be used for sending password or other sensitive information. So when to use post? You need to use post when the information sent from a form with the post method is invisible to others. All names, values are embedded with the body of HTTP request and there's no limits on the amount of information sent. Moreover, POST supports advanced functionality such as support for multi-part binary input while uploading files to server. So POST gyapon kung magamit kag mga multi-part input or while nag-upload kag files to server. So however, because the variables are not displayed in the URL, it's not possible to bookmark the page. So dili mo siya makita sa URL, dili tama ka use of post method. So developer prepare post for sending form. So in connection with our form handling, here's an example of it, and the action of the form is the add PHP, and the method we use is post. So natay name input, and then age, and then email input. So mag-create na tag add PHP para dito na to makita ang ilang value. Let's run this para makita na to ang value niya. So, na atong value. Na-print na siya. So, let's try using PHP with MySQL. First, atong button is mag-create ta una og database. So, naka-create na ta sa atong database. So, atong giname atong database as test, and then use test atong database gamiton, then users table ID auto increment siya kay para inig mag-add tag name, age ug email is ma-add siya 1 diretso, dili na ta mag-add og 1. So siya rin madiretso. So that's all. After creating database, karon mabalik na po ta sa PHP para mag-create sa atong database connection para sa atong PHP. So let's try our database connection. So first, natay database host which is atong local host, and then atong database name is test katong ganina, and then database username is root na ito nakabutang sa atong database, and then password is wala, and then ato siyang gibutang sa atong variable nga MySQL, then using MySQL SQLi connect, and then gibutang nato dire mo na siyang function sa PHP nga makonekta sa database. So host, username, and password, and then if atong MySQLi is dili siya mo-connect, atong connection is mag-error siya, connection failed, and then kung mag-connect siya is connected successfully. So let's try this in our add.html. So include na to. So naka-create na taog atong insert query para sa atong form, and then if atong gi-include ang database, atong connection which is kini, and then atong gikuha ng name katong sa submit, if kanang para ma-escape na to ang mga extra spaces niya, and then nag-include ta sa atong database mo ni siya kini dire kani siya, tanggalon na nato ni, and then if empty ang atong name sa dire, so magkuhan siya na mag-print siya, mag-echo siya name field is empty, so red siya, atong i-color of red para maklaro. So same dyan po sa age, and then sa email. So if dili siya empty, ato rin siya i-insert. So let's try this kung ma-insert ba siya. So syntax error at line 28. Why is it? So wala siya na. So nag-error po siya ganiya kay wala nato nabutangan og quotation mark. Let's try again. So na add na siya siguro. Let's watch our database. So na siya. Na-add na siya. So karon mag-add na po ta og index, which is dito na to ma-save tanan ang atong para ato siyang i-select kini. Select nato sila sa atong index page. So naka-create na tawag index.php nga mag-receive sa atong data from database. Ato siyang select ang sa users tanan by order by ID. Descend this so order by descending, and then himo tag table, and nabutang tag link pod sa tong add HTML para ato ra matuplok, and then ibut nga tog background color nga gray ata na, and then gi-query gihimo na to kuan while ang result ibutang nga to sa atong MySQL array nga function para ang katong result may mo siyang array, and then atong gi-echo by kuan array sa name niya, and then age, and then sa email. So na butang na to siya sa table data, and then atong nabutang ta og edit.php, which is niya mag-edit man ta, and then delete kwan link para ma-delete na to by ID. So kani siya, if atong gusto i-delete, if napa atong pagka-click niya atong kung gusto ba nato i-delete, ana siya by JavaScript na siya. So and then mao na siya gibutang nato sa table while nag-query iyang i-echo ang katong kuan sa atong array sa result sa ibabaw kani. So let's try this. So after mag-add, tanaw na to ang index.php. So index.php. So error 29. So let's try again. So ang error niya is kinilang ato siyang ginabutangan na nga delete. Let's try. So naana atong data. So wala siya color, no? So naara di ay nag-error ta ganiya tungod sa kani. Naitibo naka-close na siya imbes nga mag-connect sila. So delete. Money na atong value. So mag-create na pod ta og edit. So human na, no? Ato nang na kuan atong edit PHP. So first nag-include ta sa atong database connection, and then giset na tong update if na press siya ang ID. So mo niya tong ID no, depende sa kuan. So may skip niya ang mga, again may skip niya ang spaces, extra spaces sa name, sa age, sa email, and then ipang-empty ang name, ang age, ang email. So go back lang, and then so kani font is red if name is empty no, pag-update niya, pag-edit kung empty. And then if wala na siya empty, so mag-update na dayon. So result MySQL query, atong database connection, update user, set name into equals to kining name. So age siya atong sa database na to is equals to age. Then ang email, which is kani is equals to email, and then where ID is equals to katong ID. So mao siya no. So i-try nato ni kung mugana ba ang atong gibuhat nga edit. Line 2. Wala siya quotation mark. So wala din nato na define ang result. So kailangan nato siya i-query o throw. So kini wala nato nakuha. Wala na to nakuha sa result. So let's try again. So na siya. So mao ni siya no. Nag-add tag daghan sa atong dire input. Tangan natong value nga get sa ID para makita nato ang ID niya. So 1 yung ID no, nakita siya sa URL kay get atong gigamit nga method. input A 2. So now let's create a delete query. So maraming sulod sa itong delete query, no? So nag-include taon na og database. So database connection. So every time nga mag-access ta og kining query or sa atong database, so kailangan ta mag-include sa atong yung database connection, then atong connection atong gibutang diri sa atong query. So gayus tag MySQL query, pero pwede ra na siya MySQL. Pero ang MySQL is kuan kanang mura siya, kailangan siya bag-o something. So dili siya pwede kay deprecated at ay kailangan siya bag-o, gina-update siya, no? So MySQL atong gamiton. So muna siya, save na to. Ano na to, gana ba? So let's delete this. So are you sure you want to delete? So muna itong butang, no? Ganina. Gani siya. Are you sure you want to delete sa JavaScript? If ma-click. So yeah, okay. Wala siya na-delete. I don't know. Guys, select the I. Wala na to na delete. From users ID. So atong i-refresh, no? Pag delete na to ani. Are you sure you want to delete? So na-delete na siya, nag-error dito ganyan. So let's add new data. So ato sang i-add, no? Napatay i-add sa atong add PHP if ma-success siya. So let's try to add a data. Copy James. Add. So error siya, line 29. So let's add the error. James 34 James. So successfully added daw siya. So let's view the result. So nana. So let's edit. empty na siya, then delete. So that's all.
Hello everyone. My topic is about PHP form validation. So, form validation will create contains a number of inputs, text fields, and a radio button. A multiple option select list and a checkbox and a submit button. These outputs will be validated to ensure that the user has supplied a value for each one. So here's my example for the PHP form validation output and the text fields for the email. The text field used is and the website are the text input and elements and the comment fields in the text area. So the radio buttons for the gender fields. And then next is PHP form security. The PHP form security, the server PHP self variable can be used by the hackers. If PHP self is used in our page, but then the user can enter a slash and then some cross-site scripting commands to execute. So here's my example code for form validation. The method that used for the email, name, website, and comment and gender is post method. And then here's the sample code for the form validation. And then the output for this code is here's an output for this code. This is the radio button, text areas, and then the security form. Here's the example code and the output test name, and then that's all. Thank you.
Hello! So for my part, we're going to talk about file handling and most specifically file uploading. Now, to keep things on track, I'm going to create a upload form in PHP, and then eventually I'm going to create a database and connect that database to our form in order to store whatever files that our user had opted to upload and can be stored in that database whatsoever. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so what I did first is that I created a PHP file named index.php. Then the codes that I'm going to put right inside of it are the codes that will create a very simple form that will just take an input field for a file and of course an upload button. Notice that I've embedded a PHP code, or I'd entered into the PHP mode at the top of my code, but we're going to learn more about it later on. But first we'll have to see how I will make this upload form. So if you can recall, I haven't included a files logic.php file as a header in our index.php file. And what I'm about to do now is I will write the codes that should work on that form. Okay, so let's start. Of course, I will start in our upload section logic, which I used a function EZ to check whether our variable is declared and of course it's not empty. Alongside with that, I also decided to use a PHP superglobal variable underscore post, which is used to collect form data after submitting an HTML form with method with a value set post. Value set post because of course that is used to pass out our variables. After which, I am now creating the variable file name using our global variable underscore files as an associative array containing the items that we should be uploading via HTTP post method. Again, with this array, it contains the following properties. Underscore files, a bracketed file, and the name. And after that, we can now generate the original name of the file that is to be uploaded. So we will now specify the location of the uploaded files with a variable destination. And then it's time to get the file extension of our uploaded files with the use of the path info function. Now we only want its file extension, so we will specify which array element to be returned. In our case, we will use the value path info underscore extension. Okay, so now is the right time to define the variables on the physical file on the server. Now I use this property underscore files bracketed file and then temp underscore name for our variable file to set a temporary file name of that file. Then I also use this property underscore file bracketed file and then size for our variable size in bytes of the uploaded file. Okay, so now it's time for us to create our database, file management, and then create a table inside that database in our local host. Then we should also put these following attributes that will store the name of the file and of course the file size of the uploaded files. Let's see how it goes. Now, after we create that database, let us now secure its connection to our form. So I opted to use the MySQL, you know what I mean, SQL connect function in attempt to open a connection to our database created in the MySQL server running on our local host. After which, I create the SQL variable that would select the files in the table I provided in our database. File management, talking about the file table I created a while ago. And then of course, with the aid of the MySQL query function, I can now execute SQL queries on our PHP codes. Yeah. Alongside with that, I also create a variable that would secure the connection and return the queries existing in our database. Hence, I used it as a parameters from our variable result. Lastly, I created a variable file which uses the function MySQL fetch all. Well, the purpose of that is to fetch all rows and return the result set as an associative array. Okay, so let's try to access that form using our local host and the name of the root folder where our index file is stored. We try to upload some files. Here, I try to upload a sample document. Alright, so the upload process was successful. Now let's try to see that in our MySQL workbench, since I have routed the port and connect the port between my SAMP and workbench. Let's try to access that uploaded file. Alright, there you go, the uploaded file. Now, to wrap things up, let's also see that file from our SAMP server, MySQL PHP MySQL here. Alright, yes, both of them are stored in that database. Thank you.
For continuation sa report is mag-discuss ko about file read sa file handling sa PHP. So, first na to buhaton is mag-create tag file. File is equal to f open. Actually, wala na siya space there. Ang dollar sign og sa file. Dayon, obero.txt. Then, ang mode na to is R. Pasabot ana is read. I-read lang niyang files nga akong create, which is kanang obero.txt dira. Pag ato na siyang i-open, dapat muna nga dita ang ma-show. Dayon, after ana, magamit ta og while loop. If handle tapos tong file. Then mag-start na din ta sa atong code dayon sa atong while loop para ma-show ni siya dito sa ato ang localhost. So $content is equals to fgets $file, then $CRE para para mabayan siya by index. So explode delimiter is dayon string niya is itong content. Dayon list variable name, karang variable name is mag-base gyapon na siya to ang data dito sa atong obero.txt. So atong ikuan dito is ang first is pag taon na itong data Vincent, so 21 then 2000. So first is name, dayon second is dira na to na siya gikuha, and second is age, then third is year, so birth year sa akuan which is 2000. Dayon after ana is equal to C RE. Dayon echo pre, then nana siya then so var dump na dayon ta expression din niya which is katong CRE. Then muna din niyang result dayon which is nakuha na siya into array. Dayon array tapos mga data dayon niya Vincent kana muna siya ang mga data dayon by index na din siya which is index 0, 1 and 2 kay tulo ra mo to kabok. Then kini na diri na part mananam tong show, so diri na part is i-connect na nato siya sa atong database. Ayun ang first na tong buhaton is i-connect na to siya gamit ani nga code $con is equal to new MySQL hi. Tapos i-connect na to siya into the localhost. Sa localhost dayon pangalan din sa database. Okay, if ever nga di siya ma-connect dito sa dili mamali lang ka og pangalan di mao ang database nga nabutang, di siya mo dili mabutang ang mga data dito, bali di siya ma-update. So ang database na ko diri is kini siya kanang obero man akong name sa akong database. Then after ana pag human nga connect naman nimo mag-start na din tag code para sa toang pag-insert og data dito sa tong database. So $SQL Then diri nga part is nagkuha lang ko katong insert dito sa database nako. Ako lang itong gi-copy paste dito, then gi-insert ako diri sa so ako ang Sublime. Muna siya. Dito na siya gikan sa sum nga SQL. So kining insert into employee name, then ipang-copy lang din na mo siya para mabasa sa kuan ang data dira. Dayan i-resign lang din nato siya, dayan alis na nato siya og query. So kuan is then query SQL para ma-query na ang mga data ana dito sa database. So if close $sign file, i-close na nato na siya. So may then save na dayon, then mo na din siya ang result. So pag i-refresh na to na siya, wala siya magawas, bali na query naman siya, then empty na siya. Pagbalik na to sa browse is na siya sulod. Dayon pag refresh na sad na nato tong localhost,
It is important to know how to create or make a file. According to w3schools.com, the fopen function is used to create a file. It may be a little confusing to you, but in PHP, a file is created using the same function used to open files. If you will use fopen function on a file that does not exist, it will still create it, given that the file is opened for writing or appending. In writing a file, the fwrite function is used to write. The first parameter of fwrite function contains the name of the file to write to, and the second parameter is the string to be written. After we finished writing, we close the file using the fclose function.
In creating file in PHP, first thing you must do is go to your sum folder. Then, open your htdocs folder. After that, you create a new folder. Here, I name my folder as File Create. Next is, I go to my Notepad++. Then write the PHP code. Take note that the PHP file starts at less than symbol, question mark, then PHP. The fopen function is used to create a file. If you use fopen and file that does not exist, it will create it. The W is because the file is open for writing. In this example, it creates a new file called testfile.txt. The fwrite function is used to write a file. The first parameter of fwrite contains the name of the file to write, and to the second parameter is a string to be written. Notice that we wrote to the file new file.txt twice. Each time we wrote to the file, we sent the string $txt that first contained hello world and second contained programming is fun. After we finish writing, we close the file using the fclose function. Once you finish writing the code, make sure that you save it as PHP file. Also, make sure that you save it in the folder that you created. Next is open your SAM control panel, start the Apache and click the admin button. After you click that, your browser will automatically open and you will see the folder that you created. Click that and then you will see the PHP file. As you have noticed, the PHP file is blank. Go back to your index, refresh it, and there you can see the new file created.